Kaanapali, where the world comes to play, as they say. And if you're coming here to play, let me know in the comments. I love it when the most aloha infused audience comes to Maui, and it's always nice seeing all you guys in person every once in a while, just on accident, just walking down the beach. But the purpose of this video today is to quickly answer the question, right? The old adage, the old age question of all time. Is the market crashing? The sky is falling. I wouldn't say it's quite that bad, but things are definitely getting a little bit interesting in terms of the Maui real estate market. This market never ceases to amaze me in terms of what it does and what it doesn't do, and when you expect this to happen, that happens. Like right after COVID, I thought the market was going to crash, and it definitely kind of slowed down, but guess what? It absolutely did not go down in value. And so one of the reasons I'm posting this video today, and the reason I'm kind of being a little dramatic, is I watch the market very closely. As a matter of fact, you can watch it along with me if you like, and all the data that I'm going to share with you today is easily available. All you have to do is go to www.teamwestmaui.com. teamwestmaui.com. I'll put a link in the description after this video post, but basically that's a link tree. At the very top link will be the link to this report I'm going to go over with you right now. So it's a very, very in-depth report. It has all kinds of historical information in there. It's very, very well put together. So if you're a numbers person, which I think most of us are at some level, it's pretty easy to understand. If you're not that number literate, has some nice graphics, but if you're someone that likes to do a deep dive, it's a fantastic way to look at a lot of analytics. So the net of all of that is the market is about down 30%. Now I'm going to kind of peek down at my cheat notes here, if you don't mind, because I don't have them all memorized, obviously. But overall, we are down 29.1% in closed sales. And that's for all properties. And this is what's interesting now. The median sales price is down 13.4%. So what I've been saying for a very long time is even though the market continues to increase in terms of inventory, increases in terms of days on market, increases in terms of list to price, list to sales price, all these things are growing, but the median and the average sales price seems to always go up. Well, guess what? A chink in the armor has officially arrived, and that's where we're seeing a decrease in the average and median sales prices. So for a single family home on Maui right now, the median sales price just dipped 11.6%. So it went from 1.342 million same time last year to 1.187. So that's 11.6% dip in the median, and then the average sales price of a home also dipped 8.4% to 1.438 from 1.570. Now, if you look at condos, similar situation, not a big surprise because as we know, condos have been under major attack from the apartments, the potential of the apartment ban zone. That particular median price has dropped 15.6%. So the median price went from 800,000 to 675, and then the average sales price dipped 10.8%. From 1,187,000 to 1,059,000. So the other component, right, is the inventory. The inventory now, new listings for homes are actually down 6.4%, but they've been skyrocketing for new listings for condominiums, and they just went up 8.6%. But if you look at it historically over the last 3 years, check this out. This will blow your mind. Condos, wow. So the month supply of inventory for condominiums in 2023, there was 2.2 months supply of inventory. So that means everything will basically sell 2.2 months. There was, by comparison, there is now 13.2 months inventory. So when the inventory level hits 10 months, that's basically a buyer's market. So the inventory for condominiums has been a buyer's market now for about 6 months, but it keeps growing. Went from 10 months to 13.2. But single families, we're actually starting to see an increase in that as well. I would still say it's not quite a buyer's market for single families, but those are up to 6.8 months of inventory for single family homes. So that's kind of interesting how that's happening. I would say the single family market is still a lot stronger than it is for condominiums, but it's starting to show a little bit of wear and tear. What's really the most, I think, dramatic, I'm saying, change that I've seen is in the luxury. So anything over $5 million, we had about 78 listings a few months ago with maybe like 3 or 4 pending. Right now we have 115 listings on Maui over 4 million bucks, and we now have, I believe, 15 of those are pending. So that's starting to show some very good signs of life. That's a new development within the last 30 days. And then also the condominium market, if you look at the average, hang on a second, not the average sales price, the days on market, for sale, that's also very interesting. The days on market for sale for condominiums is now officially 140. That's up 81%. Last year, the same time, it was 77 days. So I used to tell people all the time, the average days on market for anything to sell on Maui was historically 144 days. So in a weird way, I feel like we're just kind of now getting back to quote unquote normal, the way things normally used to be here from the crash of 07, 08 until about post-COVID, 2021, 2020, somewhere in there. So now to me, it's just sort of getting back to the normal way Maui always was. Matter of fact, I remember I used to go on listing appointments, showings, and buyers would be like, hey, why is this thing still sitting here? Why has it been on the market for so long? And our pat answer was always like, well, Maui's one of those markets you don't have to buy, you don't have to sell. So it's just like, it's like a luxury item. It just kind of sits there until someone comes along and gets the urge to purchase it. So there was never a real urgency to buy or sell stuff on Maui. It was just sort of like, when it happens, is the way sellers kind of looked at it, and buyers were like, hey, if we feel like it this year, maybe we'll do it, maybe we'll wait till next year. There wasn't a real urgency ever, in my opinion, to buy or sell stuff on this island. That was like 144 days is how long stuff took. And now, it's kind of getting back to that. So in a way, I wouldn't say the market is quote unquote crashing. I would say we're kind of getting back to the way things were here for many, many years. It's just we got so incredibly, kind of spoiled, if you will, right after COVID, because the whole world wanted to come to Maui. And now after the fire, it's not as attractive as it was right after COVID. So I feel like we're just kind of getting back to the way we were before, but the numbers are definitely interesting. And I think the number one takeaway I'd like to give you from this video right now is, first of all, go to teamwestmaui.com so that you can see all this data for yourself. But also, there's lots of opportunity in the market right now, like a ton of opportunity. So whereas just a year or so ago, the opportunity was, if you're lucky enough to buy something, right? You give us your hair sample and your firstborn, maybe we'll let you buy something here at full price or more. But now it's not like that anymore. So if you're a buyer in the market, I think there's opportunity. You don't have to pay at or above asking. You don't have to set the new record in the neighborhood or the condominium complex. You actually have some ability to negotiate a good deal. So that's kind of cool, right? What I think is going to turn the market back to maybe a little bit more fire would be two things. I said one, but two. Two things. Number one, the interest rates need to come down. About 50% of the homes on Maui and condominiums are purchased by people that need loans. The other 50% are all cash. So when the interest rates went up a year or so ago, and they went up quickly, all of a sudden it didn't make sense to purchase a vacation rental condo because it doesn't pencil out quite as good when you have got these high, 7-8% interest rates. And also, if you're trying to purchase a home, it's much, much more expensive, obviously, at those interest rates. So that's when I saw the market really shift. All of a sudden, when those interest rates went up, it's like someone just slammed the brakes on the market. So as those rates start to come down, I think you're going to see a shift back into more of a seller's market. And then the second thing is when it comes to these condominiums, right? The county, unfortunately, has put up this potentiality that vacation rentals will be banned for apartment zone condos. For some reason, that's just halted a lot of the sales for condos. So even though you can still buy in a hotel zone, which I would highly recommend because those are not under impact. And then there's properties like the ICC and others that are zoned residential that don't have apartment zoning that are totally safe, but yet those sales are definitely slowing down as a result of this proposed ban on apartment zone vacation rental. So I think once the county finally makes the determination whether they're going to do that or not, and that becomes solidified, then I think you're also going to see the condo market recover. So what I believe there's this little window of time between now and the time the interest rates start going down, between now and the time that the vacation ban either happens or doesn't happen, that you have got this growing inventory and this opportunity to get a good deal. So I'll give you an example. I won't say any names or mention any particular properties, but there's a condominium complex on the west side of Maui that we just lowballed a condo. Like, it was like the craziest lowball of all time. I mean, I couldn't even believe it. I mean, I'm like, okay, you know, obedience, that's one of the things that your realtor owes you. You have to be obedient. So if the client says you got to do it, like, okay, I'll do it. So we threw down this crazy lowball. It's not that they took the low ball, it's that they countered with something that was still extraordinarily low. And is that going to happen every time? No. But if you find the right seller on the right day in the right circumstance, you never know, that deal could be made. So that's what I love about real estate. There's always opportunity right around the corner, whether it's that dream property that just hit the market for the first time that's never been on the market before, or something that goes at a really good price. You know, you never know what's going to happen. So that's what keeps things really exciting. So anyway, I just wanted to share with you, this is the first time I think I've seen the median and average sales prices go down. Again, just to recap, if you're just joining, the average sales price of a condominium is officially down 10.8% to $1,059,000, and then the average price of a home on Maui also dropped 8.4% to $1.43 million. And you have the other thing is you have a 75% increase in the number of properties for sale. So you're really starting to see inventory grow, specifically on the condominium market, but certainly you're starting to see some more homes hit the market. Now, what I will tell you is this: the competition for affordable housing is still here, right? If anything is under, say, like, I know it's going to sound kind of crazy for affordable, but if it's under like 2 to 3 million, somewhere in that range, if it's priced right, you're still seeing those homes sell within a normal sort of period, if you will. But anything over 4, if you're in that market of 4 to 5 million or above, I think there's some really good opportunities. And then the biggest neighborhood that I'm honestly a little bit concerned about is Laniapoko. For some reason, Laniapoko, and I've been seeing this now for months. Laniapoko, by the way, if you don't know where that is, it's as you're coming on the west side of Maui. You hit kind of like the first stoplight after Oluwalu, you know, the dump where they're putting all the ash from the fire. It's that first neighborhood when you're hitting the west side of Maui. They currently have 20 homes on the market in that neighborhood, whether they're cottages or main homes, but there's 20 properties for sale in Laniapoko, and nothing is pending, and nothing has been pending for quite a while. So that is the one concern. If you have a theory on why that is, I'd love to hear your opinion in the comments. But my theory is this: it's before you get to Lahaina, so maybe just kind of being in view of the burn site has got some people not appreciating that aesthetic. I don't know. It could be that there's some water issues in that neighborhood. But to me, both of those reasons don't really add up to not having any sales or nothing pending in what I think is one of the most beautiful premier neighborhoods in the entire state, certainly on the west side of Maui. So I think, once again, that spells opportunity. If you're looking to purchase something and you're thinking about Laniapoko, I think you couldn't ask for a better time to make an offer and, again, get yourself what I believe is probably a pretty good deal. And the way that you kind of do that, by the way, this is what I always recommend, is go with the house or the condo that's been on the market the longest time. And then, those are the sellers that are maybe softened up the most. And a lot of times those sellers maybe didn't take early offers that now they're wishing they would have taken. But sometimes you go with the one that's the longest days on market, assuming that you like it, and then you can find some of your best deals that way. So anyway, I hope this quick little live has been helpful. I've gone over some real top level numbers, but ultimately, if you want to see all the details, go to teamwestmaui.com and you will see the link to the January 2025 market report at the very, very top of that. And of course, if you're ever in the market to buy or sell a property here on the beautiful island of Maui, I'd love to be your guy. And if you need a referral to a good agent on Oahu, Kauai, Big Island, or Molokai, let me know, and I'd love to help put you in touch with the right person. All right, guys, thanks so much. Until next time, I shall return. I don't know where, I don't know when, but it'll probably not be from my backyard. But I wanted to just give you a nice little intimate report. And I've never really, I think I've done, one of the things I did right after COVID is I started watching the market very, very carefully, because people would call me up. They'd be like, "Hey, Eric, during COVID, there's going to be all these great deals and the prices are just plummeting." And I was like, gosh, I think that might happen, but I don't know. The numbers usually don't lie. So I think looking at the numbers, studying the data will definitely tell the tale on what's going on in the market. And a lot of agents, by the way, have a perception that isn't necessarily, maybe it's what's going on in their personal business, but it's not necessarily a reflection of what's happening in the market. So I think actually looking at market data is very important. And the best way to get a good deal in real estate is to have information. So whether it's market information, comparable sales in the neighborhood, pending sales in the neighborhood, and of course, having your ear to the ground with upcoming issues, regulatory issues, neighborhood issues, AOAO issues, all kinds of issues, it's good to know, and that's good ammunition, if you will, when you're negotiating that deal. So information is power, and will always help you make wise decisions and get the best deal possible. All right, guys, thanks again. Until next time, Eric West out. Much aloha. Where's the button, Dan? Oh yeah, don't forget, helpdaniel.org. If you want to help Daniel, go to helpdaniel.org. He's the shout out for the day, for the week, for the month. Help a fire victim that's blind. And by the way, everyone's getting the runaround from FEMA and the county for building permits. So have mercy on these people, but help Daniel out if you wouldn't mind. If it's just like $5, $7, I mean, like the cup of coffee from Starbucks, and put it on the recurring, because we're trying to get him enough money every single month to help support his survival habit. We all have the survival habit, right? We want to survive on planet Earth. It takes a little bit of money. But if you can help Blind Daniel, that'd be great. Go to Blind Daniel, helpdaniel.org. Aloha.